The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to the raw and uncensored Ambitchious podcast. I'm your host, the original HBIC, Katie Boyd. During our time here together, I will be instilling all of the strength, power, and determination you will need to use the very stones thrown at you to build your ultimate empire. We will redefine the word bitch from the derogatory to the acronym, being in total control of herself. So let's adjust our crowns and prepare to live life ambitiously. Oh yeah, here I am, the original HBIC, Katie motherfucking Boyd. Welcome to the Ambitchious podcast. Over here is my ride or die, Matt Babine. He will be helping me spin on the ones and twos today as we DJ our way through AKA our next installment of Ask Katie Anything.
And don't forget AKM.
We just AMA. Oh my God, Matt, I'm serious.
I know.
I'm gonna send you to school
ASAP.
Yeah.
APB.
I'm gonna punch you in the nuts. I'm just telling you. Oh, we have a really great show for you guys today. Oh my God, you're gonna have to be calling 911 when I'm done with you. We have a really great show today for you guys. We are answering all of your burning questions here on the Ambitchious podcast because that's how we like to roll.
God help you.
God help each and every one of you. But before we start, I always love to read the Ambitchious podcast iTunes review of the week, and it is from TMHT 2015. I don't know who this is, but I hope I meet this person sooner than later. And she says, or he says, bold and beautiful, 5 stars. Katie is very bold, honest, and to the point. Even when asking questions, she will give you a straightforward answer. The podcasts are the same way, always simple and direct. Keep rocking. Yes, TMHT 2015.
That's a mouthful.
Thank you. Email me at themisfitclub@gmail.com to redeem your $100 gift certificate for doing that for me.
Thank
I
you so
appreciate
much.
it. And if you've already given Ambitchious Podcast a 5-star review on iTunes, I thank you from the bottom of my little black heart. And if you haven't, you're a lazy bitch and you need to get your ass over there and
Get
come
over there,
on.
for goodness sakes.
Like, you guys do shit all day long that's pointless. Actually, this has point.
It has big points.
So get over there and help a sister out. Thank you so much. So I always love to talk about what we have coming down the pretty pink pipeline at KBMFC. We have some really cool stuff coming up, don't we?
Absolutely.
So we have a ton of retreats. We have retreats in California. We have retreats in North Carolina. We have the Portugal retreat, which is actually a whole week in Europe.
That's going to be awesome.
Yes.
Stop teasing me with it. I can't wait.
I'm so hungry right now. I can taste the shitties
I love it.
in my boca. It's already here.
Oh, in your boca?
Yeah,
Oh,
in my mouth.
Oh, I didn't know what the hell it was.
Shitties na boca.
Oh, Sharice na boca.
No, okay, Matt. Really? I'm just so glad that my husband's just trying. How do you say thank you in Portuguese, Matt?
Obrigado.
Nice. I mean, you didn't have to say it like.
Obrigado.
No.
Bri.
Ga.
Do. Obrigado.
How do you say you're welcome?
Gracias.
Gracias. This is not Mexico, Matt.
I just was,
We're in Portugal.
I know. I didn't start studying my Portuguese yet. It's
all he knows
early.
is bufa.
I know bufa.
Matt knows bufa. That's it. Which is just a really loud fart.
Bufa.
And he does know mamingish, which means boobies.
Mamingish.
Oh, okay.
I like the mamingish.
It's mamingish. Jeez, Louise and
mamingish.
Joseph. God help me.
I love Portuguese.
So just know that we're doing some really cool shit this year. And hopefully, if you come to Portugal, you can hear Matt butcher the Portuguese language.
And please do not kick me out of the country because of it.
I won't. I'm going to expedite you real quick. So let's get down and dirty into the AKA AMA, Ask Matt and Katie Anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the person's question and their name, and we are going to try to answer it to the best of our ability today. Woo! All right, you ready?
Do it. I'm ready.
Here we go. All right, let's see. Ooh, let me get a good one. Ooh, this is a good one. Dan Mazrell.
Oh, I
You
love
know
Dan.
him and you
Yes,
love
yes,
him.
yes.
He's one of
I
our
love Dan.
Dojo Sante kickboxing extraordinaires.
Yes, and his little son comes to me
He's
too,
amazing.
and his wife.
And his wife, I love Melissa.
Yep.
And he says, serving versus slaving, knowing the difference and getting to where you want and need to be. What do you think about that?
You know, and I love just really focus on the serving, Dan. You know, because it should never be slaving, right? It should always be. I mean, what do you believe? What do you think of the question?
I mean, for me, I think what happens is we go to bat to serve.
Yes.
And then sometimes because we've lived in this hypnotic rhythm of like overdoing, overworking, overproducing.
And by the way, this guy is
He's amazing.
Amazing. I mean, he's
We
looking
love
around,
you,
he's
Dan.
always looking for things to help.
He's wonderful.
He's like the most helpful guy. So I can see how he could become
But you can burn out.
over slaving because he's just such a perfectionist. And he loves helping people. Yeah, I get what he means. Yeah.
So do you ever feel yourself doing that? Like you're going to serve, but then you feel like you overgive and you overproduce and you can get into that hypnotic rhythm of not feeling enough, so you have to give too much?
I'm good at, giving 150%. And then I'm like, okay, I'm done now.
When you have to.
I'm done. When I have, no, I actually try to give 150%.
What I'm saying is you give 150% when you have to.
Yes.
And then you are really good at turning it off and being like, okay, I'm done. I'm walking away.
Yes, because I know that I gave 150% worth of value for 100.
Which
right?
I, on the other hand, have a huge problem with that.
Yeah. Well, you're we're probably like Dan, right?
Me and Dan are the same because we're very similar in personalities too, right?
Yep.
So what happens to me is I'll go and I'll give, and then I'll feel like I didn't give enough, and then I'll just keep trying to give and give and give, and then I'm like burnt the fuck out, and then I end up resenting the people that I'm giving to, and I'm like, that's not a good energy.
And if they don't appreciate it, and sometimes people don't get it, they don't appreciate the hard work that you do, and it's like, but you should be going into it. I think the main thing is what I've learned over my years is go into it and don't look for go into it not looking for like the outcome from the person.
Yes.
Look for the outcome of the product that you're giving, the service, your own personal outcome.
Right.
Don't look for them to be like, oh yeah, I got this. This is amazing, and appreciate it as much as you do, because then you set yourself up, I think, for disappointment, and you feel like a slave.
And
right?
tell yourself you're enough, because that's really helped me a lot. I know we talk about this a lot in the Ambitchious podcast. This is actually one of the Ambitchious principles, is feeling like you're enough. So tell yourself, even if you have to brainwash yourself, installing a new computer program and saying that you're enough until you believe it. Because I feel like we overgive because we don't feel like we're enough.
Yeah, and just is really perfectionist people like that too.
Oh,
that's a good one.
I actually have a perfectionism question here. Claire Wall Hawkins says the quest for perfection. So I don't really know what the question is, but I feel like I can surmise what it means.
Yeah, Katie, you are that.
I know nothing of perfectionism. And you know what? To me, perfectionism is actually an illness. It's actually a disease. So just like being a hot mess express can be not great, I think that the other end of the spectrum, which is perfectionism, can also be detrimental.
Absolutely.
Because there's nothing that's perfect.
No.
Nothing.
No. If you look at the homes that were built in the 70s and the homes that are being built now, they thought that was perfection, and it's like not even close, right? So perfection is always a moving target.
Yes.
And you have to understand that. Actually, being a perfectionist can hold you back and not have. It's never good enough to launch. It's never good enough to launch.
Oh my
it's gotta be better.
Jill, we just had this conversation.
Somebody else just discovered it like 7 times because you held back and not actually put it into action.
I have to remind myself that a lot because like I am in the middle right now in the end phases of writing and creating a program called Ambitchious 28, which is a 4-week total soup to nuts reset. So reset of your spirituality, meditation, your exercise, your food, like everything. And I've been writing the copyright for the program, and I'm, filming the program, and I'm doing all these different things. And in my back of my head, I'm like, I have to add more. It's not enough. I'm not giving enough to these people. They're going to pay all this money for this program. I have to give them enough. And I'm like, whoa, dude, like you're actually going to create, like what you said, the not enoughness, so then you don't execute. And sometimes I've heard this before, sometimes done is better than perfect.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
Like sometimes just getting it out there, and if there's kinks and tweaks that you have to make, you can always do it after it's launched.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
So don't worry about achieving the perfection. Try to worry about just getting things in the can. Like what you say.
Right.
Like just, Katie, get it in the can. Like stop mulling over this, because the longer you do it, the more you're going to drive yourself insane.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like you said, it's holding you back from greatness.
Right.
So trying to be perfect, which will never, ever happen, is only going to hold you back from stepping into who you truly are meant to be.
And look at the giants that get it. Like, the Bill Gates dropped out of Harvard so he could he goes, if I don't drop out now and do this, somebody else is going to do it. So he knew that the time was urgent and he had to go and start working that perfection, and knew he had to get it out to the people, to the market, right?
Absolutely.
So that's also being a genius when
100%.
when you can pull that back and say, this is good. This is good.
100%.
Awesome.
So I hope that helps. And now Sarah Lopez is saying, how to not let your past define your present and future, or how to stop using your traumatic past as an excuse for being a shitty person. I don't know anyone that does that.
Like everybody. Usually everybody.
Like, I was abused as a child, so I'm going to be a cocksucker now. It's like, how is that really working for ya? I have gone through a lot of trauma in my life over the years. And while I feel like I really always, every day, try to work on becoming a better person, there always bubbles up to the surface little glimpses of my past that can sometimes hold me back from going forward. And I have to always just say to myself, your past does not equal your future. Who you were 20 years ago does not make you who you are today. Because, like, honestly, if I could tell you all the things that I've done in my past, would I say to myself right now, I'm sitting in front of you as a spiritual leader and an inspirational person and a mentor and a motivator and all these things? Hell no.
You wouldn't be here.
But how many people let how they, like, who they were born into and where they were in the past define where they're going to go in the future. And a lot of people don't ever grow into the person that God and the universe put them here to be, because they're like, what if people find out that I was a drug dealer? What if people not that I was a drug dealer, but what if people find out that I was a stripper? What if people find out that I was in a gang? Like all this shit. Like, I don't know. I'm just
Stop bringing up my life. I was a stripper.
What? Oh God. At the Golden Banana on Route 1.
Stop telling everybody my life story about me being a stripper. For God's sakes.
Matt's stripper name was Big Bernard.
I was trying to hide that for years.
Big Bernard. That was Matt's stripper name. And you used to wear a Crown Royal bag over your pee-pee.
Oh, God.
That's how you came out into the pervert pit.
The pervert pit.
But think about it. Let's be honest right now. If we could think right now of who we were 20 years ago, would we be standing in front of you being like the CEOs of companies?
No.
And motivational speakers and all these different...
Life coach, no. And I'll tell you, really, one thing that I really was able to put my past, because I had a tumultuous past as well, a lot of different things. And I remember reading Wayne Dyer, and he said, when you think about the past, you're watering last year's crops. Would you go back to and say, I got to water last year's crops? No, it's useless information. It's useless deeds,
Absolutely.
Right? So if for some reason that just hit me, and I'm like, no, I wouldn't water last year's crops.
Right.
I got to go from here.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
I thought that was a good one. I love Wayne Dyer.
So don't let that shit affect you. Just know that God put you here for so many amazing reasons, and don't let what you were or what happened to you in the past define your future.
Yes.
And creating spiritual rituals help a lot. Like meditation for me has helped so much.
Yep.
Constantly bringing things in, like, self-help and listening to inspirational stuff, and it reinstalls new programming. You know?
Absolutely.
Joyce Manassian, my girl Joyce.
I love Joyce.
Ooh. How about this topic? I love how she just starts off with this. How about this topic? All rituals during celebratory times, sad times, emotional and busy times. And I really mean all rituals: meditating, exercise of choice, sound healing, no matter where you are. This is such a great topic, because I was actually talking to a good friend of mine, Christine Keegan, and she travels a lot for work. And she says, like, every time I get on a plane, it's like, even if it's for work, right? You're not going like on a fucking, vacation.
Yeah.
She's like, every time I get on the plane, it's like, YOLO, party time, start drinking, let's eat some shit. And I'm like, oh my God, Christine, me too. Like, and you're so bad. Like,
I love it.
Matt gets on JetBlue and Mint, and he's like, I will have 30 bags of blue chips. I'm like, Matt, what the fuck? We're going to get a friggin' 6-course meal. Yeah. And he's like, I don't care. I'm on plane for the blue chips.
I want my service when I'm in Mint. I want it all.
And then he'll go to the bathroom. This is what really gets me about Matt. He'll go to the bathroom, and they'll have like a bag of blue chips by the toilet toilet, and then he puts like more, he'll swipe them. I'm like, dude, we're going on, I'm speaking in whatever, and we're not here to get white girl wasted.
Oh, yes, I am.
But we all do this, right? As soon as we go through a hard time, someone passes away, or something happens in our life, or it's Christmas. And then it's like, you know, it's so funny. Oh, it's like cooked in the squat.
Cooked in the squat.
Cooked
I love
in the
that.
squat.
Yeah. Oh,
Napoleon Hill talks about that, right?
Yeah, no, it was.
Who was it? Oh God,
Zig Ziglar.
Zig Ziglar. He was talking about being cooked in the squat. It's like a Southern thing.
Yeah.
None of us Northern bastards.
I didn't even know what a squat was. I know a squat in a bush.
It's an analogy. Yeah, me too. Where Matt shits in his own pants. Yeah. It's an analogy for biscuits. So sometimes your biscuits don't rise; they get cooked in the squat. That's like a Southern thing. Mm-hmm. And he says, "How many people do you know never rise? They get cooked in the squat." Right. So they'll say like. And, you know, he has that Southern accent.
Once my kid goes to college, then I'm going to go do this. And then,
my God.
Once it's summer, I'm going to do this. Once it's wintertime, I'm going to really get that body
Let me
shape.
just get through Christmas, and then I'll do this. Yeah. Let me just get through New Year's. Oh, it's already the 3 days after New Year's, and I already, like, shit, I got to wait till next New Year. Yep. So we're always constantly looking for, like, the next time that we can start over again. Right. And truthfully, if you get cooked in the squat, and you're always just, like, doing stuff like that, you're never going to truly go to where you need to go.
Nope.
So my advice to you is, again, I hate to say this again because this is like getting redundant, but you have to know your why. Like, why are you eating healthy? Right. Why are you meditating? Why are you doing sound healing? Why are you doing any of these things? You have to know your why, because if you don't know your why, like if you say, I desire to lose 30 pounds, and, you know, Monday you start your meal plan and you're doing so well and you worked out, and then Tuesday you're like, oh man, that fucking donut that those people brought to like the office looks so good. It's just calling my name. Who doesn't love a good office donut, right? Not that I've ever had one because I've never worked in an office, but I see it on television sometimes. And I see it on Facebook. Everyone's like, fucking donuts. I'm like, eh. But that's the thing is like, you know, you have to say to yourself, your why has to be stronger than the donut pull. Yes. Right?
Yes.
So that's why a lot of people screw up and they can't stay on task, is because they truly don't know their why. Right?
That's a good one. I like that answer.
You didn't really say much.
No, I was like your answer. I thought my answer was pretty good.
I just embarrassed you about your blue chip situation.
I just let it out that I was a stripper.
Oh my God, Matt. Jesus. Men in Motion.
I remember Men in Motion. Yeah.
That was good.
I was
Ed
in it.
Sullivan's like, yes, I
was
do.
in it. I was in Motion.
Thunder Down Under. The Thunder from Down Under. This is not. Oh, Cheryl Fahey says, effective communication. So, you know, I think a communication can come in all shapes and forms. Yes. Sometimes communication could be telling someone to go pound sand.
Absolutely, pound sand.
But I really love, there's a book called Getting the Love You Want by Dr. Harville Hendricks. Huh. And do I know this book? Matthew, I've made you listen to it like 300 times.
Oh, I may have not known what book it was. I didn't know the name. Maybe I didn't know the name.
Dude, I seriously need a Xanax right now. Like 3 of them. I need to stir my dirty martini with my Xanax. But Dr. Harville Hendricks, this is about love. So he talks about getting the love you want. And through getting the love that you want, you desire, he teaches this Imago method. Remember
yes, I remember the Imago method.
My God.
No,
he doesn't.
He doesn't.
But it's about communication, because what happens is, I'm going to use a relationship or marriage as the example. So what happens is you come home from a long day of work and your husband was home all day. So he just pretty much was jerking off, spanking his monkey and watching Netflix and just eating everything in the fridge. Right, Matt?
I don't know who would do these things.
And then what happens is you come home and you're fucking tired and you come to your kitchen sink and the dishes piled up and there's shit all over your counters and you're like, that's really funny. I didn't leave my kitchen like this when I left here this morning for work. And you get really pissed because it's not about the dishes. It's about what? I feel that you don't really care about me because you know how hard I worked all day and you just left your shit all over the place.
Oh, I remember this book.
Oh, it's ringing a bell. It's ringing a bell.
Actually, was it the book or was it my life that Saturday afternoon?
Oh, I think that many people live like this, especially women, you know, because we as women, we love to have a nice clean house. Most of us do. Yeah. And when we work so hard and you're home all day spanking your monkey, I want the house to look like it did when I left for work. Is that too much to ask?
And you work and take care of the house.
Thank you.
I like this Imago method. Good.
You should read the book again and listen.
Am I going to catch it? I'm not going to catch a beating today, right?
Yes. Yes, I'm getting my pimp hand strong right now.
Jesus, I better be careful.
So what happens is most people, they come home and what is their communication? You're a fucking piece of shit. Look at my house. It's a fucking mess. Right? Does this sound familiar?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. It's because you don't feel appreciated and loved.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's truly the root of it.
Yes, I get it.
So to have effective communication and using the Imago method, if you guys want to read this book, it's an awesome book. You can also get it on audiobook. It's a pretty old book, but it's really, really, really good. So what you would say is, like, if I came home and this happened and I say to Matt, it really hurts my feelings and I don't really truly feel like you care about me when it's very important to me to keep the kitchen clean so that when I come home, I can come home and I can pour myself a glass of wine, I can sit on the couch and not have to also now clean a kitchen.
Clean the whole kitchen, yeah.
So what you would say back to me is,
I would say,
let me get this right.
Let me get this right, my love.
What you're saying is.
And
then repeat it back to me.
You don't want the kitchen a disaster when you come home, that you'd like to have it cleaned.
And then you say, is there anything else?
Is there anything else?
And then what that does is it opens the communication to let me go more ham on Matt's ass.
I don't like this method anymore. I don't want to do this.
Well, it actually saves you from me throwing a
burying me in the backyard?
No, from me getting out and running through the woods and sitting on a rock for 3 hours.
That's true.
Because what happens is when you let things build up and you don't have those good communications, and this can also work with coworkers, it can work with family members, it can work with friends, it can work with anybody. So it's not just about your significant other.
Right.
It's effective communication. So what you're saying is, is there anything else?
Yes. Is there anything else?
Well, you know what? Now that you asked me that.
Oh, Jesus.
This also upset me yesterday when you did this to me.
Yes.
Okay? And then you say, so what I'm hearing is, and you repeat that back to me.
Yep.
And then you say to me, is there anything else?
Yep.
So this is how you peel the communication onion.
Yes.
This is the opposite of how we were taught as children.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Who taught us?
Yeah, just hold it in and then freaking destroy them for no reason. They don't even know the reason why they're getting their asses kicked, right?
Seriously.
Instead of, the Imago method.
So check that book out. It's Dr. Harville Hendrix. It's called Getting the Love That You Want. But it's really a book about communication.
It's communication.
Because how many times have you just let shit build up and build up and build up, and then one day, someone sighs the wrong way in your house, and all of a sudden it's unleash the frickin' Kraken. You've never had the Kraken unleashed on you.
I never had the Kraken. I've definitely had the Kraken. I've had a doctor use the Imago method on me. He sent me an email and gave me direct instructions through my healthcare company.
Yep.
And he goes, I understand. I text back. It will be done.
Yes.
He sent me another email. No, I want you to rewrite what I wrote and then send it back to me. And I'm like, really?
You're like, fuck you, dude.
No, I did it because I was like, if that's what he wants and this is going to earn his business. And he goes, after I did that, he goes, thank you. We understand each other.
But
then there's nothing left out. I'm like, he's using the Imago method. He didn't even know. He just wanted to be clear how he wanted his patients taken care of.
110%.
Pretty cool. Wow, I get it. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I get it.
So we should try that more often at home.
I think that's a great idea. And it will save me less beatings. And I won't have to go hide and stay at a friend's house or a battered shelter for men.
Oh my God, you made me look like a monster.
Kidding, you're not that bad. Help.
911. 911. Oh, so that was Ask Katie and Matt Anything. I hope that we made all your dreams come true.
Dreams come true, and I hope you had a couple of laughs.
Yeah. Thank you guys all for being crusaders of the Ambitchious movement. And like I always say, see you next Tuesday.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.